Welcome into Retire Right. It is a WYZE Wealth Advisors podcast. I am Ben George. He is Ryan Wyatt, a certified financial planner, and the guy you'll probably see primarily on this YouTube channel. You'll have some other people from WYZE Wealth that'll pop on from time to time. But Ryan, looking forward to chatting with you. I know it's kind of the first video on the channel, so I'm excited. What about you?
Yeah, Ben, really excited. I'm glad that you're helping us out with the podcast here. Really excited to get started.
All right. So the goal of today's show, we're going to go business. We're going to talk about you a little bit and then talk about the show itself and what people can get out of it. And again, if you have questions, a couple of different ways to get in touch. WYZEWealthAdvisors.com. Again, WYZE Wealthadvisors.com. We'll drop that link in the show notes so you can find that there as well. But again, the phone number too, we'll have it on the screen, but 724-271-7109. So Ryan, let's start off. You got into this business, you've been into it for a number of years, but kind of curious, you're a younger guy. How did you find your way into this profession?
I think it's the classic following the parents' footsteps story. My very close family, very close with both my parents. My dad in particular, I just always was, for some reason at a young age, interested in what he did. Really could never understand it until I got a little bit older. But, I have explicit memories of being in the car with him, trying to understand what he did. If I was ever in a conversation with a friend, not that it was common at a young age, but if anybody ever asked, I would try my best to reiterate it. But I remember those memories. And that led me to pursue studying finance for my undergrad. And that was something that I never second guessed. I really enjoyed my classes. And then towards the end of college, I started leaning very heavily on Ron, my father's recommendations for which companies I should target if I want to get into wealth management or financial planning. And so that really ended up leading me to where I'm at today. But all of that knowledge that he had and the interest that I had in pursuing that profession came together pretty well and really benefited me in just being very strategic with what I pursued after college.
Yeah, definitely a family affair, right? At WYZE Wealth, you guys have kind of teamed up now, and you've kind of found your way, as you meant, kind of everything. The roads have all led to this point. Give us just a little bit of background on WYZE. I know you guys just formed the business, but just a little bit of background on what the goal is and kind of why you decided to come together with your dad and the family to put this together. Yeah.
So I mean, it was what led me to start working with my dad in the first place is it was a respect thing. I mean, I just wanted to, he was somebody, if I was ever working through a situation with my first job out of college or my second job out of college, because he was in the industry, he was one phone call away and he could really help me kind of like learn the ropes a little bit faster. And I had a lot of trust and faith in him. And so I became eager to start working with him at some point, and then the opportunity presented itself. Why we decided to open up or go down the path of starting our own company, I would say that we're in the unique position now where we actually have a team where everybody is focusing on a lane, or something that I like to say is we have the right people in the right seats. So there's 4 of us in the Pittsburgh office here. Each of us have a designated lane, a designated focus, and we work very well together. So it really made a lot of sense to take that leap and start that own independently run firm now.
Okay. Makes a lot of sense. Well, so what does it look like, the financial planning process for your clients, and what you guys do day to day?
If I had to describe it in one word, I would say holistic. We really focus on bringing what we think are kind of like 3 major areas of retirement planning. We focus on bringing that into one coordinated strategy that's reviewed a few times per year. So we're doing the retirement planning, which is really making sure that clients are on track to meet their long-term goals, whatever that looks like. The next area that we're focusing on is investment management. So once we know what goals they have, we can then start backing into smaller pieces of the puzzle, like, hey, how much risk are you comfortable taking? How much risk do you need to take to achieve your goals? And we can start to customize that portfolio, that investment portfolio for them. And then the last piece, and I would say this is kind of embedded throughout, is tax planning, or ways for us to minimize taxes or not subject clients when coming up with an income plan to unnecessary taxes. So the three of those really get blended together. Of course, there's other parts of it too, like insurance analysis and estate planning. We'll review all of those as well. And we have, a service model that we follow, or service calendar that we follow in terms of how often we review those. We're not writing legal documents in-house, but we have a team of experts externally that we can always refer to for that.
Got it. So retirement investing, tax planning. I know we're going to get into a lot of those topics here on the channel. Please subscribe too if you're looking forward to learning more. Those areas are of interest to you, or you're thinking more about them as you get closer to retirement. Again, we'll have hopefully some good information for you and education as we move forward. What do you enjoy most then about what you do day to day?
It's the people. I actually, so the people on both ends. Well, and I'll add another one, the problem solving. So okay. One, I could never do something where I don't get to interact with people. Like if I just had to sit behind a computer screen all day and maybe interact with one or two employees, I just really don't think that I'd be fulfilled in my career. So being able to talk to people and build relationships is something that I get a lot of enjoyment out of. So that's the first piece. Obviously working with family, and we have a new advisor here at the company, Nick. He's great. Being able to interact with them and joke around with them, it's just fun. It's funny. It's a good dynamic. And then the third piece is that there's a lot of the way that my brain works. I like when a problem's kind of in front of me, I like to solve it. That could be a financial planning related. I don't want to use the word problem, but that could be something, in a client's financial plan. That could be something with the technology that we're using, anything. There's a lot of things that I can work on in that area, in the business or for clients that I really get a lot of enjoyment out of.
Yeah, that's important because, we don't know what life's going to throw our way. And when you come across these different obstacles and challenges, you want to find creative ways to get around them and keep moving forward. So looking forward to kind of hear your perspective on that as we discuss these topics in a little more detail. All right, let's shift gears and talk about you a little bit then. Give me one thing. It can be anything. You can choose any direction you want to go with this, but what's one thing you want people to know about you?
I would say one thing that I'm passionate about, and then just maybe something that maybe not a lot of people know. So one thing that I'm passionate about is directly in line with what I do as a wealth advisor is pursuing financial independence. So I think that gives me I don't want to say leg up, but I can take that passion for learning about these strategies and apply it directly to my client's situation. So that's one thing. And then the other thing that I would say is just on a personal level, I really like getting involved in the community. I'm not very good at sitting still. So this is actually my first year doing it, but I am going to be coaching hockey for Peters Township. That's the area here in Pittsburgh that I grew up. I'll be starting at the middle school level. I'll be an assistant coach. And then actually another financial advisor I know here right down the street presented the opportunity to me. So I'm really excited to get started with that. I'll be doing coaching defense for the Peters Township middle school team here.
I love that. Well, what do you like most about the area? I know you got family in Pittsburgh. You're kind of you're on the outskirts, and Canonsburg is where the office is located. But what is it that you enjoy most about the area?
Oh, I mean, it's not the weather. I'll tell you that much. Pittsburgh is. Yeah, I went down south for school, Ben. I know we actually graduated from the same area, but it's nothing like, the state of Alabama. That's beautiful weather. Pittsburgh can be gray and rainy. It's really gray day today here in August, but it's the family dynamic. I mean, my whole family's here. My brother just moved back from Denver, so now all my direct family's here. A lot of my friends that I grew up with, they're still here. Their whole families are still here. Pittsburgh's it's a big, small city. You can go out to places and run into people that you know. It's a very friendly city. So I would just say that aspect of it, the family, it's a good place to kind of raise a family. They always say that part of is my favorite.
Yeah, I love that. I don't know a few people from Pittsburgh, and they kind of echo those same sentiments. So last thing before we shift gears and talk about the show a little bit, what does a typical weekend look like for you? What are you getting into? I know coaching will probably take up some of your time now, but what do you like to do away from work?
Usually I'll maybe go on some sort of a bike ride when it's in the nice months. I really enjoy golfing. I'm trying to break 80 for the first time in my golf game. So it's not uncommon to see me at the driving range or, on some public course here in Pittsburgh. My girlfriend and I, we enjoy traveling a little bit, or if we're not traveling, spending time with family, or even like tonight, for example, we're going to go, tomorrow night, we're going to go to the Steelers preseason game. So, going to some sporting event if there's one in town, just pretty much anything to kind of get out of the house and just be social with people for a little bit.
If you had to pick one team to win the next championship in Pittsburgh, which team is it?
I'm
a tough one, but I'm curious.
No, it's you're going to get a hit or miss with, I feel like, depending on who you ask. Yeah. I'm a football guy, so I'm going to take a Super Bowl any day of the week. I mean, seeing the Pirates do something that they haven't done in a long time, that would be cool. But I'm also a little bit, I think, jaded, and I think that the Steelers have a better chance than the Pirates do. So
okay, fair enough. Well, Pirates have some good young talent. Looking forward to seeing what they do. All right, let's shift gears. I don't want to go too off the rails here, and kind of close out with the goals for this show, right? Because that's the whole purpose of us getting together, is to try to provide a service and a benefit and education for people. So what do you want people to get out of what we're doing here?
Maybe it's a lofty goal, but my vision for this podcast is that if clients have a question about, their financial situation, chances are, because a lot of our clients are in the same situation in life, their goals and what they're trying to do with their financial assets can be different, but a lot of them are in kind of the same stage in life. If one client has a question, chances are other clients do too. So my view for this podcast is that over time, as we push out more episodes or write more blog posts or put more YouTube videos up, if they have a question, they can come to our website and hear directly from us our thoughts on that exact topic. Almost like a Google for financial planning topics, if you will, but living and breathing right on our website. They're already working with us, so why not hear directly from us? That's kind of my vision for it. Yeah,
and I think that's a smart approach too, because most people will do their research online before they ever contact someone. So be able to hear that from your mouth first is important. Who is the ideal person then that you want to find this channel, find these episodes, and get the most out of them?
Yeah, we literally put it right on our website. We really do our best work with people that are 50 plus and they are starting to think about retirement, or maybe they're a little bit older and they're recently retired, typically with $1 million or more in financial assets. Or if they're, again, younger, if they're over 50 but not ready to retire just yet, they kind of have a goal of retiring with $1 million or more. We've really drilled it down, and that's typically what our ideal client looks like and who we do our best work with.
Again, you can find more information online, WYZEWealthAdvisors.com. You'll see the opportunity to schedule a free Retire Wise assessment right now. You can do that through the website as well, but learn a lot more about Wise itself. And hopefully this episode will give you a little bit of background on the business and Ryan specifically as we move forward. But we have a lot to come. So please subscribe to the channel. We'd appreciate your support there, and leave a comment if you have a question for Ryan or just any feedback. We'd appreciate that support. Ryan, enjoyed kind of getting to learn a little bit more about you, and excited about really diving into some topics moving forward.
Yeah, Ben, thanks. It's the first episode. This is new to me, so hopefully I become a little bit more fluid over time.
No, you did a great job, and we appreciate it. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Schedule your complimentary review with Ryan and his team today. Just visit them online at WYZEWA.com or call 724-271-7019 to get started.
This episode's content is for informational purposes only. Opinions expressed herein are solely those of WYZE Wealth Advisors, unless otherwise specifically cited. Material presented is believed to be from reliable sources, and no representations are made by our firm as to other parties' informational accuracy or completeness. All information or ideas provided should be discussed in detail with an advisor, accountant, or legal counsel prior to implementation.